through, Greg. Take a seat.
Hi.
Hi, how you going?
Yeah, not too bad. Other problem. No.
Not too bad, not
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah.
Well, before we get started too much, I just want to confirm that I've got all your details right.
Okay.
So we've got you, you're 50 years old. Is that your right address and phone number there? That's correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's
Yep.
all. That's good.
Yep.
Right. Now, you said on the phone that you've got a bit of stress and some energy issues going on. What's happening for you?
Yeah. Feeling okay, but still concerned about the stress I'm experiencing. A 90-year-old mum that I'm looking after in a couple of jobs, and
Yep.
the doctor has started me on some SSRI inhibitors, and been on them for about 2 weeks now.
2 weeks, okay.
I'm feeling a little funny on them still, but
Yeah.
the depression is getting a bit better.
Oh, that's good.
Still feeling stressed, but
Yeah. No, I'm not surprised with it. Just what it's looking after mum and all that stuff and working 2 jobs. I'm not surprised you're feeling stressed.
Yep. And the doctor suggested maybe doing something natural and whatnot might be a good.
Having a little bit of a complementary action going on there, seeing what else we can get happening.
Yeah.
Okay, well, to start off, to get a sort of a baseline for how you've been, what sort of your energy's like? If you were to rate on a scale between 1 and 10?
I would say about a 5 at the present moment.
Yeah, okay.
Which is better than what it was.
Yeah.
Probably a couple of weeks ago it was probably 2.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty low.
Yeah, not good. Well, at least you are getting some improvement.
Getting some improvement. But still,
bit of room for some more.
It could be better.
Yeah.
Could be a lot better.
Well, when you're doing as much as you are, you need to have the energy there to cope with it all and be able to function properly. Yep. There's a lot to go on, not to cope with there.
Yep.
Before we go too far, have you got some support there with your mum, or how is that all happening?
Looking at different options.
Yeah.
Need to find the right people to talk to, I guess. And see where we can go there.
Okay, well, what I can do is if you like, I can write you a letter for some social workers that I know, and they might be able to help you work out a plan to, I don't know if you've got some other people you can share the workload or the thinking load through.
Yeah, there's not a lot, but, some extra help along from someone could be very useful.
So what I'll do is I'll write you a letter that you can take to the social workers that I know, and see if we can get some help on that side of things.
Yep.
So we're working on all aspects. We're not just saying, body work better.
Not just a pill.
Yeah, exactly. We're saying, okay, let's alleviate the actual pressure. So we'll do, I'll get you a referral for that. So remind me to give you that at the end.
Yep.
So do you know with the antidepressant which your doctor has got you on, which one that is?
I'm not particularly sure which one it is, and I don't really know how they work that well, and I don't know really like how long I need to stay on that sort of a treatment plan. I don't really want to be on pills.
Yeah.
Because it's the only one I'm taking.
Well, that's good. Okay, but that is good to know because drugs work in all different ways, and that's why I was trying to figure out which one, if you knew which one it was, because they all work slightly differently. But basically what they're doing, an SSRI is a selective serotonin receptor inhibitor. So, very big words. What it's doing is serotonin, you might have heard of, it's the feel-good hormone or the feel-good neurotransmitter actually, which transmits information in the brain and emotions and energy and all that sort of stuff. So, and it starts in the gut because there's actually more serotonin in the gut than there is in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of many different neurotransmitters, like you've got your dopamine, which helps give you the motivation to do things. Your GABA helps with sleep and all those other ones. But
well, sleep hasn't been so good of late either.
Well, I'm not surprised. It's all part of it. So with your herbs will help you, give you a bit of help support there. Okay. So it's selectively... when you have a serotonin in the chain of neurotransmitters, it sort of goes from one part of one cell to the next cell, then to the next cell, then to the next cell. And it's firing each time and moving along in the chain through those different neurotransmitters. The SSRI is selectively saying, okay, you've gone there, go back and do that again. So it's selectively stopping some serotonin from getting to the next neurotransmitter, sending it back so it can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's giving you a double hit, you might as well say. So it's helping with the antidepressant by giving you more of that feel-good feeling.
Okay.
Does that help to help to explain it?
Yeah.
So that's how they're working.
Okay. I suppose you want to know about my diet too.
Yes, that would be a good idea because that's where it all starts from. Yeah. So what's your diet like?
Brekkie.
Yep.
Usually a couple of eggs on toast.
Okay, good.
I guess lunch is usually some sandwiches,
Mm-hmm.
a bit of meat, cheese, tomato, lettuce, that sort of thing on it.
Okay, yep.
Evening meal is usually along the lines of meat and 3 veg. I don't do anything very exciting there. And I don't have much in the way of snacks in between.
So not many snacks, okay.
I'll have a couple, coffee or something through the day a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some ice cream for dessert occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a few beers from time to time.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much
okay.
A typical sort of a day.
Yep, no problem. So okay, well overall that sounds reasonably okay. When you say you have a couple of cups of coffee, I'm just looking to see where you're getting your energy to do what you're doing. So how many coffees would you usually have in a day?
One at breakfast, maybe one in mid-morning, one in the afternoon.
Yep, so a few cups through the day.
Probably 3.
Yep, okay. How late would your last one be?
Probably 3 o'clock.
Okay, 3 o'clock. We might see if we can bring that forward a bit because it's a stimulant. Mm-hmm. So it might be also contributing to not getting to sleep well at night. How do you usually find getting off to sleep?
I usually get to sleep all right. It's later in the night when you wake up and can't get back to sleep.
Okay, yeah. So we want to try and limit that to 2 cups if we can. 1 would be even better.
Okay.
And I'll be giving you herbs to support the energy so that we don't need that extra, oh my God, I need something to keep going.
Okay.
Because we want to have that energy more level through the day, raised, but more on an even kilter through the day, so that we're not getting those peaks and lows of energy.
Okay.
It's good. It looks like you're having lots of good protein through the day. We're not just having this great big steak and everything at night time, but Kellogg cereal or sweetened cereal for breakfast. So there's no protein. So you're having your eggs there. So I'm really happy with that.
I like my eggs. Yep.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With your breads, what sort of breads do you usually go for?
I usually just go for sliced white bread.
Okay, that might be somewhere we can make an easy change because a lot of we need our carbs in our diet. We also need our protein, which you're having, and we need our good fats because it's the combination of the protein and the fats that gives us that sustained energy. And too many carbs, you might as well have chocolate because it's working in a very similar way. It converts to sugar in the body.
Okay.
So that's where somebody might have a big bowl of pasta for lunch and think they're doing the right thing, but there's no sustained energy in that meal.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm really happy with that. With your meat and 3 veg, do you find you eat a lot of potato?
Might be 1 potato cut into 4 or something.
Okay. How would you feel about maybe switching that out for some sweet potato?
That would be fine.
Yeah? Because sweet potato works slightly different on the body again to your white potatoes. There's a little bit less sugar in there. Okay. Again, more sustained fibre for the body and good foods. And we might try and introduce some more make sure you're getting your coloured veggies.
Okay.
Because they've got lots of antioxidants to help cope with stress and all the good stuff for the bugs as well as for our body. So we're getting those nutrients. So we'll make a note of that.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll give you a treatment plan at the end.
Okay, so it'd be something easy to follow along and just...
Exactly, because otherwise you sort of get out here and say, what did she say again?
Oh, yeah. So anything you're proposing here is not going to be a problem with what the tablet the doctor's given me.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking what medication you were on. Because the herbs which I'll be choosing for you, I'm looking to give you the herbs which I'm looking at, they're called withania, oats, gentian for the gut, some Siberian ginseng, and I was also looking at some rhodiola. Now, those are all herbs which work with those drugs. Those drugs shouldn't be a problem. I would suggest not to have your coffee too close to that, because rhodiola doesn't like coffee too soon. So
I was going to say, I don't understand what.
Yeah,
really
I'm going to go into that.
Yeah,
what they're all working together to give your adrenals a bit of a helping hand, because what's happening when we have a lot of stress, the adrenals kick in and they actually take over a lot of function of the body, or put them on hold. So now I need the energy to get through this stress, and the digestive system is one of the ones that sort of gets, you just wait a minute, I need the energy. The reproductive system and a lot of other body functions, it just says, no, I need the energy, and it pulls the energy from them to give to our arms and legs to fight or flight, to the brain to figure out which way we're going to go, and to the heart to make sure we've got the functioning power to do so. When that happens for too long, those systems go, hey, I can't do this off and on business. If you're going to do it, you do it all the time. I'm going on strike. And that's when you have your genetic weaknesses will start to play up. And also the adrenals are not designed to be on all the time. If you're fighting a saber-toothed tiger, the idea is to get away or fight it and go back to living normally.
Yep. Okay, so I guess how often should I be coming to see you, and do we, will we be going into things a bit more depth later on?
Absolutely, absolutely. What I would suggest is to come back in a couple of weeks' time, where we can assess how these herbs have been going for you. And they're also in there to cope with the stress, so they're nervine tonics, just to tonify or to make the nervous system cope with all the stresses a lot better, which will also help with your sleep. The gentian is there to just give the digestive system a bit of a helping hand, so it can get the nutrients from your food to give to the building blocks for the rest of the body. Excuse me. I would also, I'll give you a handout that gives you a bit of assistance as far as which foods to try and avoid, which foods to try and include more of in your diet.
I don't think I'm gluten intolerant, but...
Okay, that's good. That's good, because one of the herbs that I'll be giving you is one that can cause some problems with some people, so that's good to know. Thank you for that.
Okay.
So, and I would also suggest, if you can, are you getting much exercise?
I could probably get more exercise.
Yeah.
Just, it's probably, the exercise I get is probably not restful, I suppose. It's
Yeah, it's doing the work and
doing the work you got to do.
Being in the zone. Yeah. So would you have time in your day to include, say, a 20-minute walk in the morning or in the afternoon or evening, depending on how your work schedule is in there?
Maybe a couple of times a week I could do that.
Yeah. I think that would be helpful. The main reason being is it gives your brain and your body a chance to breathe deeply and get a bit of oxygen moving through the body. It also gives your brain a chance to do something just because. Because quite often getting out of that situation, out of that treadmill, and just doing something peaceful, being out in the fresh air, listening to the birds, gives your brain a chance to actually process some of the stuff you're going on with away from it, rather than in it 24/7.
Yeah, a break from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So 20-minute walk. I mean, it would be great if you could fit it in daily. But I understand when you've got the schedule you're on, it's a bit crazy. So I'll say 2 to 3 days a week. Would that be manageable?
We'll give it a try,
Yeah, that would be good. And what time would you find you getting to bed?
10:30, 11 o'clock.
That's good. Do you find you're getting on your phone or you're watching TV up until that time? Or?
I'll probably watch a bit of TV leading up to that.
Yeah. It would be a good idea, just to help get the body prepared for bed, if you can maybe have a hot shower before you go to bed, and try and have a good hour is great, half hour at least, where you're not on your devices and not watching the TV. The main reason being is our body is designed to flow with the sunlight. So the cortisol level rises with the sun coming up so that we can get up and have energy, and then it slowly drops to sunset, at which time the melatonin is coming up so that we can go to sleep.
Okay.
If we're involved with a lot of electronic devices, they have a light that's similar to daylight, and our brain is going, be awake, be alert, we've got stuff going on, rather than time to chill, dude, and go to sleep.
Yep.
So if you can have that bit of break in there, it would just help the brain. And the hot shower, what it does is it
kind of relaxes you a bit.
Well, it does do that, but it's actually raising the body temperature to a higher level, and then coming out of the shower, and it cools down suddenly, and that sort of says to the body, go to sleep.
Okay.
That's what it's actually working on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all sorts of different things going on. So that sort of information is on here.
Yep.
And again, try not to have the coffee after 2 p.m. because, again, it's stimulating the body.
Okay.
So I'll also, in the diet sheet, which I'll give you, some recommendations, some other, fruits, nuts and seeds, other alternatives to try and have you just get some energy back into the body through the day,
mm-hmm.
rather than just the coffee.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Now, is there any other questions you have with that? That all makes sense.
That all makes sense. So I'll go away with a list of bits and pieces to try, and some contacts to...
Yes, I'll give you that referral for the social worker and see if you can get some help in there too.
Okay, and so in 2 weeks' time...
Yep, we'll make an appointment.
Similar sort of time would be good if we could.
Thursday's good. Yep. Not a problem at all. We'll do that. So, 12 o'clock?
Yeah, fine.
Awesome. Easy done.
Okay.
And if you don't have any other questions, we'll get that all organised for you.
All right. Thank you.
Fantastic. You're welcome. We'll see you next time then.
Yep.
Great.